All right. All right. Looking for financial freedom. Wow, that light is hot, y'all. That light is hot. All right. Wanting to start my own business. Okay. Awesome. All right. So we got to see what everybody is in here for. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and let's jump in. All right. I said 8:05. Lord have mercy. All right. Let's get on this slideshow. But Lisa don't miss no. She don't miss no nuggets. She know every class is different. All right, man. Well, my name is Quentin Robinson. I'll be your instructor for today and hopefully for the near future, right? Um, more about me. Hold on, here we go. I got some more. Oh, yes. Let me go back. All right. Those of you that have questions as we go along, please put them inside the chat. Also, make sure that your microphones are muted. I muted everyone's microphone, but unless I ask you to like unmute your microphone so we can have a little dialogue. Please keep your microphones muted. Um, put your questions inside the chat. However, we will still have a Q&A section, at the toward like the end, right? All right, so here we go. So, well, my name is Quentin Robinson. I'll be your instructor for today, and maybe for the near future. Well, I hope to be your instructor for the near future. Let me move this so I could look up. There we go. All right. So, more about me. I was an electrician for 10 years, and my wife is in the Air Force. So, every time I got to a point where there was like where it was time to get like those big promotions where I didn't have to be out in the field or like we call the yard as much. It was more issues for that because I had to move every 3 years. So I'm like, you know what, man, I'm getting tired of this because I'm always having to start over. And I mean, I was working 12-hour days. I don't know if you guys like really like put that together mentally. Those of you that are working 10-hour days, 12-hour days, I need you guys to like really understand this. You're literally giving half of your day, and they still won't pay you the way you need to be paid, and they're still not going to make sure that you're taken care of. So, with that being said, I'm from South Carolina, but I moved out here to Tucson, Arizona. Um, Within that, my grandmother passed away in October. Well, not this past October, but she passed away in October of being here. And I asked my company for some time off so I can go home. And this was the changing point of my life. Now, I don't know how many of you actually went through this where you're working all of these hours, you're not able to see, if you have kids, you're not able to see your kids like that because you waking up, you going to work at 6 a.m., getting off at 6 p.m. By the time you take a shower, eat, the day is over. Take a shower, eat, help out with homework, right? That's it. That's all the time you really have to spend with your child. Those of you that don't have children, you're spending so much time at work that when you off, you don't do nothing but lay in the bed. Cause I know me. I know that's what I did. I just laid in bed, right? So I asked for some time off. They told me this the usual thing. Take as much time as you need. Matter of fact, let me pull this down while I'm talking. They were like, take as much time as you need. And I was like, okay. So got me a plane ticket, and you guys know, like whenever you got family from everywhere, what ends up happening, right? They start pushing back and holding that body for a little while to make sure that everyone from out of town is able to get in town. So this ended up being about 4 days. Yeah, 4 days. It ended up being 4 days. Um, on my second day being home in South Carolina, I had someone from my job call me and ask me when was I coming back because we needed to figure out how to make up for the time that I wasn't there. And I'm like, this should not be a situation where I should be asking someone for time off. That was the that was the moment for me. You know, that was the second where I was like, you know what? What am I doing? I'm being here. I'm asking you for time off. You know what it's like to lose a loved one, but none of that matters because it's about your bottom dollar. So I started digging. I knew that I wanted to create a business, but I didn't know like what I wanted to do. Now, some of you may be here because of that, right? You want to start a business, you just don't know exactly what you want to do. That's the reason why this situation is free, right? If it's something for you, go get it. Go get what's yours. Go get what's promised to you. Um, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then like I found the situation and when I found it, it just was like it was crazy. And I was like, you know what? More people need to know that there's money in this industry. So we're gonna go over that. All right. So those of you that are brand new, we're gonna go over like the basic structure so you can know who's who, all of that other good stuff, right? Then we're gonna go a little bit deeper, and then we're gonna go a little bit deeper. All right. Those of you never mind. Forget it. So we're gonna jump in here right now. Let's get it. All right. So iDispatch, and so can you. Right. All right. So the things that you will learn. Hold on. There we go. All right. I promise to you during this training, you will learn about how you can make money with no experience, dispatching semi trucks. Learn about some of the different roles in supply chain. Learn about what the startup costs are for this business. I can guarantee you that some of you guys are paying more than an iPhone, more for an iPhone than it would cost for you to start this business. Those of you that are students, please like go inside the chat and say like, yeah, you know, you already know. All right, so learn about the startup costs for the business, and also show you how you can make anywhere from $1,000 per week for each truck. Now, with you being a solo person, I would not suggest doing more than 7 trucks. The workload would just be too crazy. But you can make between $1,000 and $1,500 for each truck. Okay. As a matter of fact, I hope everyone once again has pen and paper or notebook and paper. I need to grab mine. Mine is right here. Because what I'm going to do today or tonight, and this is like completely different than any other live joint that I've done, is we're gonna go through and we're gonna book a week of loads just so you can see what the money can look like. All right, all right. Here we go. Let's move this down right here. All right. What is the role of a shipper? A shipper, also known as a consignor, is a person or company responsible for organizing and transporting goods from one point to another. Generally, the shipper bears the cost of the freight, except otherwise stated in the transport contract before shipment. Now, you as a dispatcher, you will not see that. Okay? You as a dispatcher, you will not see that because, well, it depends. No, no, no. I'm not gonna confuse y'all. I'm not gonna confuse y'all. Y'all gotta get who's who first. All right. So now that shipper typically cosigns with a broker, right? Well, not cosigns with a broker, but they typically hire a broker, right, to help them move the freight. Now the broker is in. They have quote unquote ownership of the freight to where they can actually go out and find a carrier to move that freight. Now, you as a dispatcher, you represent the carrier. So then the dispatcher is just like a broker, but the dispatcher does it for the truck, the broker does it for the actual freight. So if it's televisions, cameras, whatever, right? That's what the broker is representing. You're representing the truck at all times, okay, as a dispatcher. All right, freight brokers. What is the role of a freight broker? We just spoke on a freight broker a little bit. A freight broker helps cargo owners ship their goods securely and efficiently. Brokers connect shippers with carriers. Whenever you hear the word carriers, for those of you that are new, a carrier is no different than truck driver. So in your mind, when you see carrier, truck driver, right? Truck driver, carrier, carrier, truck driver. Everybody got that in their notes. Y for yes, N for no. Y for yes, N for no. How many people taking notes? I hope y'all taking notes. All right. All right. And then help navigate and coordinate the many moving parts of the supply chain to ensure that the cargo gets safely to its destination. Right? So there we go. That's what I like. I like when y'all be interactive with me to where I don't feel like I'm talking to myself. All right. Cause I know, like I've had a lot of people hit me, like, you know what? I thought it was gonna be fake. Thought you wasn't really gonna teach us nothing. So make sure you take these notes, all right? So, and I like to laugh. I like to laugh. All right. So here we go. To ensure that the cargo gets safely to its destination, right? So that's what they represent. They represent the cargo. Period. That's what they represent. All right. Oh man. All right, truck dispatchers. What is your role in the supply chain? Now, truck dispatchers schedule freight deliveries and arrange pickups of shipments and parcels, right? All right, their duties include scheduling truck drivers, relaying shipment details as arranged with the customer. Usually, the customer is the broker, right? Oh, somebody trying to highlight. Oh, go back. Can you please, whoever did, um, please like take that. There we go. Thank you, ma'am or sir, whoever tried to do that. If that's something that you're trying to do, just especially if you're on your phone, just try and like screenshot it if that would help because it'll go through every slide. All right. So as arranged with customers, so your customers are typically your brokers, right? Now remember, your brokers work for the shipper. All right. And setting up driver routes. Now I'm going to tell you guys, we're going to go over some stuff today. I know y'all probably thinking about, especially those of you that are new, are thinking, you know what? Like I know nothing about, excuse me, scheduling pickups. You know, scheduling truck drivers, relaying details to customers, all of that. Don't worry about it. We're going over it tonight. All right, going over it tonight. All right, now, whenever a broker or a shipper has a load, will I be going over different types of trucks? I mean, it's a good bit of different types of trucks, but yes, in a sense. All right, so bear with me. Um, dang, what was I saying? Yes, they will actually put a shipper or a broker will actually put the load and the rate on what's called a load board. Now, on that load board, just because you see a rate, listen to me and listen to me close. Those of you that are experienced, you know exactly what I'm about to say. Under no circumstances do you just see a load and just take that load. Even if the pay is higher than your CPM, which we're going to go over tonight, even if the pay is higher than your CPM, still negotiate. Still negotiate. I don't care if your carrier needed $2 per mile and it was 5.50 per mile. I need $6. Can you come to $6? If you can't come to $6, how close can you get to this number, right? So if they can't move, they can't move, but you still are in the winning game. All right. So here we go. Those can be found online, what is referred to as load boards. This is where the brokers and shippers post their loads that needs to be moved from one place to another for a rate. However, you can negotiate that rate. You know what? I need to fix that. I should say, however, you can always negotiate that rate, right? I mean, I don't care. My students will tell you if I can negotiate for a higher 10 cents, I'm negotiating for a higher 10 cents. All right, now this is an example of what a load board would look like. Okay, this is an example of what a load board would look like. Now, in this load board, there is more to. Now, I will say this: there is more to this load board um, than what is being shown at this moment. Reason being is because we got things such as MC authorities. We got other things such as like the weight, the different types of vehicles, finding those different types of vehicles. And then we have finding um, the minimal deadhead, right? So the deadhead means that the carrier is driving this truck without a trailer or without cargo. So if there's a semi, right, and there's a trailer attached to that semi, and there is no um, you know product inside the trailer, that is a deadhead. Okay. How many of you actually seen a semi truck and push Y inside the chat? If you have, how many of you have seen a semi truck with no trailer on it? It was just the truck. It looked like it's just like the part where they was driving. There's nothing on the back, right? There we go. That's what I like to see right there. I like to see people interacting with me. All right. That is also called a deadhead or bobtailing. Bobtailing and deadhead is the same thing. Only thing a deadhead means is that that truck is moving and it's not making money because there is no load attached to that truck. Does that make sense, everyone? Wise, wise, wise. Okay. So if that truck doesn't have a trailer on it and it's moving, the best way to remember that is, if those wheels turning, they should be earning. Okay, so let's make sure of that. All right, so let's go over this. Let's go over this load word real quick, man. I hope I'm not like being too corny with y'all, man, because really, I really enjoy myself with this. Okay, so number one is the trip. Okay, so whenever you see trip, now load boards are going to be different from load board to load board. Okay, you may see some load boards is going to have miles. Some load boards are going to have trip. Please take that off the screen. Let's be there. We go. All right. So some load boards you're going to see trip. Some load boards you're going to see miles. Now, whenever you see trip, it's the same thing as miles. It's kind of like deadhead versus bobtailing. It's the same thing. They're just different terms. Okay. So in this case, we see that this trip is 3,007 miles. Okay. As you guys saw, I took a screenshot of this at 9:27. But you will see where we're actually going to jump into a load board live tonight and go over some of this stuff. I'm gonna teach y'all some game on here. All right. So we're gonna see the offer, right? So the offer is 8,600 for 3,007 miles. Okay. Now, we're also gonna go over CPM. Now, what CPM is cost per mile? Cost per mile. I'm gonna give everybody a second to write that down because that's one of the most important things here. It's cost per mile. Cost per mile. Understanding that. Understanding that. Cost per mile. Now, how do you calculate cost per mile? Is the cost divided by the miles. Now, someone get the cost per mile and please put it inside the chat. Like I said, I'm very interactive, okay? Very interactive. Oh, snap. Let's see if that is right. Okay, so when you see that 285, we're going to round that off. No, you're going to take the cost, right? 8,600 divided by 3,007. Right. Who's this? Laquanda. Yes. Melissa, you got the actual number. Don't get me wrong, you got the actual number. But whenever you see that third digit, you're gonna round that second digit behind the decimal up. So you see if it's over a 5, you're gonna round it up. So it's gonna be 286. 286. 286. $286. Now, if your carrier was asking you for something that was $2 a mile and you found them something at 286, would your carrier be happy? Y's in the chat or N's in the chat? CPM. Hey Shaniqua, how you doing? Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yes, yes indeed. Yes indeed. Okay, yes indeed. Now, in this sense, right here, you will also, yes, provided that they want to travel in that lane. Now, Melissa, you are definitely correct on that. Now, we will definitely go over everything for that, because there's some carriers that will go OTR. There's some carriers that will say, you know what, I only run in the southeast or run in the northeast, all of that other good stuff. So for that, you're definitely going to want a type of document that's going to, outline everything as far as to what that carrier wants. Okay, what that carrier wants. So a lot of the times where dispatchers mess up at is not having the details of the carrier before they start dispatching for the truck, right? So they don't know what the CPM is. They have no idea as to how much weight that carrier is comfortable driving with. Not how much they're okay driving with, but how much they are comfortable driving with. Make sense? Because that truck may be able to move 43,000 pounds, but if they're driving in the mountains and they're only okay with 35, you getting them something at 42 is not going to be good, is it? So that carrier may reject that load. What I do is I teach people how to get the load that the carrier wants every single time. They're not going to reject it. It's going to get to the point where like they're not even going to call you to go like they'll call you and say, "Hey, I need you to find my loads," or "Hey, I'm empty," or "Hey, I just made a drop." Usually, good dispatchers already have them a load before they make the drop. That's that's also what I teach. All right. So with that being said, I didn't mean to like go on a tangent, Miss Fields. But did I answer that correctly for you? Why in the chat? Come on, rock with me now. Rock with me. All right, here we go. That's what I'm talking about. You know what? Cause like straight up, it be there. All right. So in this case, number 3 is Kettleman City, California, going to South Windsor, Connecticut. Now, whenever you look on this load board, you will see things in parentheses. Usually, there's a number inside of those parentheses. We will go over some of that stuff tonight. If you see that, and there's a number in those parentheses, that is your deadhead, right? And then you also have the weight of the freight. Now, the weight of the freight, what you can get on that truck, also, excuse me, you guys, what you can get on, I'm gonna show you guys what's going on. Oh my God, I've been eating these things right here, these hot chips. They just hot. They don't even got like no. It just say hot. Like I should have known it was gonna do all that. All right, but anyway, so so um, you also got like the weight that can go on the truck. But the weight that can go on the truck also depends on the weight of the truck and what's on each axle. So usually, if you do it right, the carrier is going to tell you what a truck can handle, what they're able to handle. They're going to tell you this. It's all about asking the right questions at the right time and getting those questions documented. All right. Does everyone understand this portion right here? Y's in the chat, N's in the chat. If you have an N, please go ahead and ask your question inside the N. Inside. I'm going to sit right here for a little second to make sure that everybody is getting a clear understanding. Make sure that everyone's getting a clear understanding. Oh, you know what? I love y'all. Y'all came through today. That's what I'm talking about. 84 people. All right. So, because I already know everybody was. Hold on. You're going to discuss. No. As a matter of fact, okay. She just asked me, am I going to discuss the parentheses with the minus later in the training? I just, hold on. I hate when this thing do that. Hold on, give me 1 second. Oh my God, I'm making it worse. Ah! I'm making it worse. Y'all gotta bear with me. All right, here we go. Yes, I just explained that, right? So, there we go. I see it. Okay, yes, that's the deadhead. That is the deadhead. Here we go. This right here, inside the parentheses, is going to be a number. If you're doing your job right, if you're doing your job right, you're going to put whatever city that carrier is in. We're going to go over exactly what that looks like in a second. All right. But you're going to put exactly, like in this sense, we have just California here, right? But sometimes it depends on the state. You may just be like, you know what? I just need a load out of this state. How many people from Florida? Why is in the chat if you in Florida? Hold on, let's see where the chat at. There we go. Cost divided by miles is the CPM. Yes, that is correct. Cost divided by miles is the CPM. And we have a lot more equations for you as well. All right, let's see. Florida. All right. For you that's in Florida, please tell me if I messed your name up, Shanique. All right. So, if you're in Florida, your key thing is going to be to find the nearest state outside of Florida. If you get a carrier that's calling you that's in Miami, I'm not going to lie to you. Me personally, I'm not even taking it. I'm not even taking it because Florida has, I don't know why, we will go over some of this stuff today. I have no clue why, but like Florida doesn't like to pay people. It's just that simple. So if you get like a Jacksonville, Tampa, Orlando, all of that northern state, excuse me, God, I think that northern state type stuff. Um, Georgia is good. Georgia is good. Texas is good. Georgia's good. Texas is good. Texas is really good. Georgia is really good. Texas and Georgia, they're both hubs. Okay, it's hard to get loads coming out of Florida. Most people usually deadhead out of, that's what I'm saying. For you as a dispatcher, why even put yourself in that position? Right? I'm telling you now what Florida looks like. So if you go get you a truck that's from Florida, whose fault is that? Right? And if you do get a truck from Florida, didn't I tell you guys get it from northern Florida to where you can get out to South Carolina or get out to Georgia? Hell, you could even get to Savannah and get out of there, right? But if you don't and you just decide to like do whatever you want, don't blame me if you don't get the results because I actually advised you to do opposite, right? Maryland, definitely good. Maryland is good because you also got that whole Virginia area too. So because all of that's together, that DMV area. Mississippi's okay. Ohio, Illinois, Indiana, all of that area is good. Houston, that's Texas, so you good. Arkansas, you good. Tennessee, definitely good. Especially like whenever you start Tennessee, Kansas, South Carolina. You know what? About time I get somebody from a city. Put your hands up one time for the South Carolinians. Yeah, you know what? I hope I'm not being too extra for y'all, man, because I like to have fun. I want people to learn when they having fun, bruh. Yeah, well, having fun while they learn while they having fun. Same thing. But anyway, South Carolina. Check this out. I'm gonna give you a cheat code for South Carolina. What part of South Carolina am I from? I grew up in Columbia, the metro. Y'all already know what time it is if y'all from South Carolina. But my family is from Georgetown, South Carolina. Andrew Sample, all of that, right? So metro, yeah, y'all already know. right? How to get down out there. But anyway, um, gosh, y'all just threw my whole near Blythewood. I actually lived in Lake Carolina before I moved out here. Um, Louisiana, definitely a good yes. All of those places are port cities. I lived in Fairfield. Yeah, I used to run around in Fairfield a lot. I used to love Fairfield, man. It was different than Columbia. I didn't tell you that much. It was different. You got a lot of trees in your yard. So, oh my gosh. All right. So I'm sorry, y'all, if I'm just okay. But anyway, so yes, those of you that are in South Carolina, make sure that you find somebody with a TWIC card. Okay, you were about to talk about cheat codes. All right, so this person, I don't remember cheat code for South Carolina. Get somebody with a TWIC card. Those of you that are brand new to like this whole situation, everyone that's not new, they know when I say cheat code, I'm giving you something that's going to give you thousands of dollars. Facts. I cannot make this up. Those of you that will be on the mentorship Tuesdays, like y'all know. All right. So cheat code. Go get somebody with a TWIC card. Get them down to Charleston. You can move all the freight you want. Right? Virginia, also another one. Why Florida is not that same way, I don't know. But Georgia is also a big hub. Tennessee is also a big hub, especially if you can go out there and get linked up with some of the resources that I have for you. Wyoming. Oh, I said Wyoming. Wisconsin. Wisconsin should be okay. Because you're right outside of like Michigan, right? So you should be all right. You should be all right in Wisconsin. Now, I don't want to say, yeah, I'm the type of coach like this. If you ask me a question I don't know, I'm going to tell you, I don't know. But I'll find the answer for you, all right? New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, all of that, it's money there. You just need to have people okay with driving within city limits. Twick, Twick. All right. Someone said, "Can I spell out the card?" Hold on. Twick. TWIC. It's in the chat for everyone. TWIC. All right. So I already know. Can someone take whoever got the line through the screen? Can someone take that off? Let's be mindful and make sure that everyone else is able to be able to get the main stuff out of here, right? All right, so how much do dispatchers get paid? All right, the going rate for a dispatcher is anywhere between 5 and 12% or a flat rate. Now I'm going to tell you guys this. I teach people how to partner. Listen to what I'm saying. I teach people how to partner with factoring companies. What a factoring company does is a factoring company will go and they will purchase the invoice of the carrier in 24 hours. So instead of that carrier, because a lot of people don't know that a lot of the places, brokers or shippers, they don't want to pay the carrier for between 19 and 30 days, right? So the carrier is like they're using their own money for 19 and 30 days. Boston, good stuff. Boston's good stuff. But just keep in mind, you guys, I just want to make sure that I stress this to you all. You do not have to move trucks that's in your state. Those trucks can come from anywhere. Okay? Your dispatching business is just for that state. You're contracted by whatever trucking company it is. It doesn't matter where they are. Okay? So just keep that in mind. All right. So between 5 and 12%. But also teach how to partner with factoring companies. When I say partner with factoring companies, it's not the same as like where these factoring companies are saying, you know what, we're going to purchase the invoice for 24 hours and they pay and then that's it. No, you partner with these factoring companies. I have two that I actually partner with that I teach students how to partner with them And there's two different ways. One of them is for every truck that you bring to get factored with them, they give you $100. Let me go ahead and stop that. They give you $100. On the other side of things, there's another factoring company in which I partner with and teach you how to partner with them to where they give you 10% of what they made from the truck. So if they made $4,000 from the truck over the course of a month, they pay you $400 at the end of the month. I see. Am I saying this right? Stina, did you have a question? I saw a hand raised. Oh, she might just be rocking with me. All right. So anyway, so with that being said, that's something that you can add to being able to charge a little bit more. Also, doing a back office work, that's another thing that you can add to be able to charge a little bit more. All right. Um, those of you that got friends that do insurance, do you guys know how many carriers, owner operators, driving their trucks and don't have life insurance? Sad. A lot of them do. A lot of them drive super heavy. A lot of them they be tired. They sometimes as a dispatcher you're gonna end up being a therapist. Let's just be real. Let me let me bring this back. Sometimes as a dispatcher you're gonna end up being a therapist because someone's gonna doggone pee them off, and guess who they gonna call? They're gonna call their friend. They're gonna call you. When they call you, you're gonna, hey, it's okay, whatever, whatever. You're gonna get past that, right? Other times you're gonna have to be, well, I'm not gonna say have to be, but other times you're gonna feel obligated to let them know about financial decisions. Because a lot of these carriers, they're spending their money before they get the check. Makes sense. They go home. Let's just give an example. They go home for home time, right? They're home for 5 days. What do you think that they're doing for 5 days? Spending money. They're spending money. When it's time to get on the road, they don't have money, right? Also, with the partnership that I teach as to how to get on with factoring companies, they also offer gas cards to these carriers. So just in case they get put in that situation, that's not messing up your money. All right. So the only way to be proactive is to think about what can possibly happen and find a solution to the problem. Because if you're not part of the solution, you are a part of the problem. I'm sorry. Can you spell the type of card they should have? TWIC, TWIC, TWIC. All right. Can you explain what you said about making extra money? Are you speaking about factoring companies? Well, because I'm literally mentally I'm running through this. If I'm moving too fast, you guys let me know, okay? You guys let me know. Now, like I said, a lot of these carriers, yeah, the two things that you named. Yes, you're gonna a factoring company. Factoring company pays the invoice in 24 hours. Hey, Miss Juanita, how you doing? I see you got your camera phone on. Let's see you. Ivan, I see you, big dog. How you doing, brother? All right, Miss Tamika, I see you. Okay, let me see who else in here got their camera on. Want to shout out? All right, all right. We thin now. We thin. All right, we thin, y'all. We thin. We need more of this. We need more of this. All right. So anyway, the factoring companies, what they do is you got one that pays you $100 for getting your truck put onto them. Now, see, this is the other thing is that I actually teach you guys how to get brand new trucks. So you know that they don't have a factoring company because they just got their truck. See what I'm saying? So in that sense, I couldn't figure out how to raise my hand. You are fine. You perfectly fine. Throw it right there. I got you, mama. All right. So yes, that's exactly what it is. It's an ID for carriers to be able to access the ports. So If you guys want my personal opinion, even though I offer both services to students, you got the one where they pay $100 for each truck that you bring. I'm gonna say this: if you don't have, and I hope this makes sense. Excuse me, you guys. If you don't have the finances to move your business forward, that may be the best situation for you. Is to take the one, you get what I'm saying? Bring the truck, take the $100, but don't take the $100 and go to the club. Don't take the $100 and go pay your bills with. Don't take the $100 and give to your son or your daughter for them to go have movie. I know my son. He's like, I give him $20. He be looking at me like, bruh, I got a whole date and everything, bruh. You know? He be looking at me like that, like, bruh, I got a whole date and everything, and I need to use the car. What's up? I don't got no gas money. I need you to give me all that. So anyway, um, if don't do that. When you get the $100, put the $100 in your business. I wish I could move everyone that got the cameras on to the same thing. All right. So could you explain the $100 again? Okay. You meet a brand new carrier, right? What does carrier mean again? Let's see in the chat. Let's make sure that y'all learning in here, man. Let's make sure that y'all learning in here. Who is the carrier? What is the carrier? The carrier is the driver. Exactly. Carrier is the driver. So you meet a brand new carrier. That carrier doesn't have a factoring company, meaning that that carrier is going to have to wait 19 days, 16 days, 30 days before they get paid. Make sense? So, whenever you deal with a factoring company, that factoring company then comes in and say like this. How many people done went to a check cashing company, a check cashing place in their life? Wise, ever in their life, their whole life. Anybody went to a check cashing place or cash their check at a doggone gas station. All right. If you ever did that, that is the idea of this situation. You're gonna have someone come and they're gonna pay the invoice, but they're gonna take 2 to 3%. Make sense? So they're gonna say, all right, we're gonna give you this $3,000, but we're gonna take 3% of it because we're giving it to you in 24 hours. Right? Now, if you brought that carrier to this one company, they will give you $100. However, those of you that actually have finances and you still out here, you moving around, you moving and shaking, you still got a job, you still doing whatever while you building this business, right? The best way is to go the opposite way as to where they pay you 10% of what the factoring company makes off of the truck. Because even if you're no longer the dispatcher, the way that I have it to where you guys can get set up with these factoring companies is even if you're not the dispatcher, they're still paying you 10% off of what they made off the carrier simply because you brought them the business. Makes sense, everyone? So, with that being said, it's simply because you brought them business. You know how much money they're going to make off of one truck? Why would you, as a business owner, should not just be working with people just to work with people? You should be working with people under partnerships. Even if I don't care if it's Walmart. If it's Walmart, oh yo, listen, you need how many packs of water? Hey, check this out. This is what we gonna do. We gonna figure out something to where it makes sense on both ends. Sometimes, how is the phrase? Amateurs get money on the front end, experts get money on the back end. So you can run out there and go jump on that load that's paying $9,000, and you got paid $100 to bring that truck. But if I went with the 10% plan and they made $9,000, right? Then they charge a little bit of something. Now, this is what we talking about. We talking about one truck. We talking about one truck. Those of you that want to be able to expand your business, you definitely will be able to expand your business. I also teach ways as to how you can expand your business, get employees, all of that, right? So this whole, it ain't no cap, ain't no cap. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. All right. Okay, so now let's use for an example uh, the load that we just saw, right? We just saw the load that went for $8,600. Now that load that went for $8,600 on that previous load, the broker agrees to pay the carrier for $8,600, $8,600. For those of you that don't know what $8,600 is, all right, I'm joking, but dollars to move the load from point A to point B. You will have the carrier under a contract or agreement, right? For let's say 8%. If it's 8% for that $8,600, that carrier will pay you $688 for that one load. One for that one load. Guess what? Right? For that one load in that 1 week, right? So that's one day that you work. Now let's not forget that they need to come back or they need to go somewhere else. Now, hold on, before we even go past all of that, let's just back it on up. If you book that load on Monday and it took them 2 days to take that load, let's just hypothetically say 2 days to take that load. If it was 2 days to take that load, guess what you're not doing for the next 2 days? Working, because you already did what you were supposed to do, right? So you were able to take care of another truck or just sit back and relax. You see what I'm saying? And that literally, if you're booking a load your very first time, especially if you have mentors and you got somebody that can like actually help you and walk you through it, it's going to be confusing at first. It may take you 45 minutes to book a load. And that's if, if you got to do a carrier packet, all of that. But once you know what you're doing, you can book loads in like 15, 20 minutes. Most of the time, you're going to be waiting. You're going to do this stuff in like 5 minutes, and you're going to be waiting on the broker to send the rate confirmation. Like, dude, what is taking you so long? Right? So you chilling. All right? So let's not forget that they need to come back or go somewhere else. Sometimes you may move that truck 3 to 4 times a week. You definitely can move a truck 3 to 4 times a week. Now, what your work from home setup can look like. A work from home setup, literally, laptop, printer, cell phone. You got highlighters, great. You able to highlight everything on rate confirmations, all the information that you need to have, jump out. You could grab a highlighter, you can go on it. Your email, definitely your email. Now, can you do this without a laptop or a computer? Yes, but no. Reason why I say yes but no is because how many people got on a website? Do we need a printer as well? I would suggest to get a printer. I'm about to go into that. Do we need a headset? No, yo, listen. Yo, hold on. I don't know what, yo, I have no clue where that came from because, like, I've actually heard that more than one time. You just need your phone, man. Just call the carrier. Like, you don't need a headset. Like, people be making the industry seem like you just need a cell phone. Just call the carrier, right? Like, really, like, when you're talking to the driver, let's make this clear. Matter of fact, let me pull this down so I can make this clear. When you're talking to the driver, usually you're telling the driver, pick up here, drop off here. Well, this is the rate, pick up here, drop off there. Right? Send me information, send in information to factoring company. I'm sending you invoice, pay me. It's really not too much talking unless there's a problem. If there's a problem, the truck breaks down. Um, Sometimes the person that owns the MC authority, which that's a whole nother thing. Sometimes if the person that owns the MC authority is not the person that's the driver, so your agreement isn't even with the person that's driving, okay, um, you'll have that issue, right? But we also like show how to get around that type of stuff. All right. So let's see. No, absolutely not. You do not need a headset. Now, if you wanted to like put some in your ears and stuff like that, that's fine. But communication with the carrier is key. What you have to realize is as a dispatcher, the number one thing that you're hired for is the communication. The driver want to drive. They don't want to do paperwork. They don't want to send off the emails, send off invoices. They bought a truck because they want to drive. All that back office paperwork, they don't want to deal with that. That's the reason why you're there. All right. Does that make sense, everyone? I just want to make sure that that makes sense to everybody. All right. Let's make sure that makes sense. All right. So, can you use your phone? Oh, that was the question I had. How many people actually went to a website on their computer and then they went to the same exact website on their phone, but for some reason all the options weren't on the mobile form? Wise, wise if that happened to you, ends if you never went through that. Okay. Now I see the whys. So, with that being said, I want you guys to understand this. It's the same way with dispatching. You may have your phone, you may see like the general situation. However, if you're on your mobile phone, well, if you're on your mobile phone, you're going to see the general situation. When you're on your laptop or you're on your tablet, you get to see more information. And trust me, as a dispatcher, you want to see the most that you can. Now, is it okay for you to work on your cell phone for short periods of time? Heck yeah. You at the airport, go get your bag. Pay for your ticket. Let's hold on. Let me stop it. Let me stop it. Let's back it on up. Pay for your ticket. Pay for your ticket. While you at the airport, y'all. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Does anyone get what I'm saying? Let me see some whys in there if you get what I'm saying. Your vacation should no longer come out your pocket. If you want a cruise, can you pay for doggone Wi-Fi? You can pay for Wi-Fi on a cruise. Let's stop playing. If you at the airport, go ahead and replenish that. Matter of fact, make that a whole tax expense. If those of y'all that know, y'all know. All right. Those of y'all that know that, y'all know. All right, there we go. I see I get it down here. All right, that's what I'm saying. So we got that, right? Now, whenever you got that phone, if I see another, I get it. If you at your child's, and I'm gonna use kids a lot because for me, that's what it was. I got one son. My son is 16, and you don't know how many basketball games I didn't get to see because I was working. And to me, mentally, I'm like, yo, I'm providing for the family, but I'm not thinking I'm providing for the family financially, but my son needs time, not money. Like in his mind, money's not. He wants the time. Did dad come to the basketball game? You see what I'm saying? Did dad do this? Did dad do that? So like that was a whole different thing for me. And to be able to change that and be able to make money while I'm sitting there and do that in 15 minutes, like boop 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 boop, make the call, boop 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 boop. You see what I'm saying? And be able to just even be there, even if I gotta like take like a half a quarter or a quarter or whatever, and make some money. I'm able to do that. I'm able to do that, but I'm able to still be there, present. I don't know how many people feel me on that, but that was dear to me. All right. So before I go to this next slide, I know y'all gonna be like, yo, this dude is sentimental as crap. But before I go to this next slide, I need y'all to like really think why you doing this. And one thing I'm gonna say is figure out the reason outside of the financial benefits. Why do you want to do this? Don't tell me. Don't even put it in the chat. Don't tell me. That's something that you keep to yourself. Why are you doing it? And the reason why I'm saying that is because once you get to that point and you understand why you're doing it, don't forget that. Because I did it to spend more time with my family. I did it to spend more time to be able to chill out with my son. But guess what? When I start seeing that bag, y'all know what happened. I started focusing on the bag and what the whole reason why I was doing it, I wasn't even doing it. Now I'm at the house working just as much or if not more at the house. Yeah, I see you. I see my son, but yo, I'm still mentally checked somewhere else. So understand why you're doing it. When you understand why you're doing it, then you understand the certain things that you could put in place to where you don't compromise those things. Because I promise you, you can get lost in money in this industry. And I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm a real shooter. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a transparent guy. But just under like I can't explain to y'all. Sometimes we think money is the answer, but it's not. So we need to understand what we doing it for from Jump Street. From Jump Street. All right. So those of you guys that got notebooks, think about that all night tonight. Think about that all night tonight. Why am I doing this? Is it because I'm tired of working for somebody? If I'm tired of working for somebody, why am I tired of working for that person? Because I had a person that they weren't even a manager. But, yo,